Broadway, listen to the Broadway beats. Broadway makes you wanna move your feet. Everybody's tapping into everything that's happening on Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Broadway beats. Give it up for every
Well, it was really not a true adaptation. It really is me sort of reading the play and then reading every version of the play I could find and then putting them down and coming up with my own comic riff on it. The best way I can describe it is, it's as if Aristophanes was hired by Walt Disney to write one of their High School Musical franchises.
So where did the kernel of this idea originate?
The Colonel? The Colonel and I. Truthfully, it happened on September 12th, 2001. Lewis and I had just started dating, and we were trying to think of something positive to do in the world, and we said, let's write a show about being positive and wanting to change the world for the better. And that came Lysistrata, and that came cheerleaders, and then as throughout America kind of progressed throughout the decade, it became about apathy and about fighting apathy.
Well, you know, I've been saying to other people, a lot of that has to do with our cast. Doug and Lewis and I went in saying we have to have people with tons of personality and they all have to be different. It can't be like a plastic, homogenized chorus of people. They have to be own unique personalities. And so that's where we started with, and I think that's one of the keys of how the show has its vitality, its life force, is through our cast, who are amazing. And Doug keyed into that and then wrote to their strengths, and that's, you know, kind of how it developed. And I took their personalities into consideration when choreographing, so a lot of that I think came through in the dance too. So
the greatest challenge for me is writing pop songs that can be theatrical, so that the story moves through it and you're not just stuck in a beat. And in pop music, you have to repeat a chorus, and you have to make sure that every time you repeat, you're at a different emotional place. So that's what's the biggest challenge, making sure the story moves through the songs.
Mick is, you know, he's the captain of the basketball team. He is that guy that you see in teen movies that, you know, maybe sometimes doesn't really say the right things, but has got such a soft inside, and he's such a caring person, and he's just one of those guys that has some walls up, and he's waiting for somebody to get inside of him, you know, and to really touch him on the inside, and that's what happens in the show. I get to take a guy that somebody might say at the beginning of the 2-hour journey that, oh, he's a little tooly, he says some things I don't really agree with, and by the end, I hopefully get people to kind of see me as a Disney villain in a way, you know, that they love me at the end, and I get to take them on that journey, and I love it every night. It's always new every single night.
Oh, my character, Hatera. She's the all-knowing, wise, and guiding hand of love in the show. She's just a fun character, and I don't think she takes herself too seriously, because she knows where the heart of things are, and she tries to get the kids to see that in the show.
I play Robin. She's a librarian, a very passionate, if slightly misguided at first, librarian. She wants to, you know, evoke passion in everybody and bring out the passion that everybody else has locked away, and, you know, get at everybody's true self. Because everybody's better than they're acting like they are in this show at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Except for Lysistrata. Lysistrata's got it. And that's why they formed that friendship, I think, in the beginning.
So how does a play that's over 2,500 years old or thereabout relate to the modern audience?
Oh my gosh, well, I mean, when you throw basketball in, no, I'm kidding. But it's the battle of the sexes, do you know what I mean? It's about what women want, what men want, how the sexes can manipulate and how they try to manipulate each other, and how it does or does not work. You know, it couldn't be more relevant.
Xander is, he's a political geek. He loves fighting for causes. He's very liberal, and he cares deeply about the state of the world and humanity, and he has very high hopes for humanity. So he's always organizing petitions and fundraisers and, you know, student strikes and whatnot, but he doesn't really know how to deal with people one-on-one, and I think throughout the show he learns how to love people as much as he loves causes, and he falls madly in love with this head cheerleader, Lysistrata Jones, and he has to deal with that.
This show has always had a political element. How is that political element relevant to today's politics?
I think it's very relevant to today's politics. I think so much people nowadays have this, you know, they almost feel like giving up. You know, politics is so corrupt, politicians are so corrupt, you know, Congress is corrupt, and there's nothing that we can do about it. But I think this show is all about, you know, fighting for what you believe in, even if you feel like you may not see change happening directly in front of you. You got to stick with it, and I think that that's very, very relevant to what's going on today in terms of, you know, all the Occupy Wall Street demonstrations that are going on, and I think it's fantastically relevant.
I'm the only person that's played Lysistrata in a production physically, so I really feel like she's my best friend. I love her so much, and I want to do this for her, if not, you know, for myself.
So you've walked down the road with her before. How does this experience differ from the Aristophanes?
Oh my goodness, from the Aristophanes. This is loosely based on the Aristophanes Lysistrata. The idea is the same, but it very quickly veers off course when it comes to actual plot points.
So how is it working with basketball players, and working in those moves?
I recently said, it's like I can't do a show that doesn't require a special skill. I did Xanadu, and I had to learn how to roller skate, an Australian accent. I did a show where I had a baton twirl. I just did one in an entire British accent. So basketball, I'm like, okay, bring it on. You know, it's been amazing. It's really been amazing to be able to learn a new skill, especially something like basketball that, you know, you never think, once you get out of high school, you're like, well, I'm never gonna do that. My brothers